Hello, hello. What's up? Hey, everybody. Hey, Kaiwan. Yeah, we'll talk about Jagger. Hope you are all doing well. It is a little bit chilly tonight. It's like -7. Still not bad for February weather, but like cold enough. Hey Brooklyn, hey Nikisha. How are y'all doing tonight? I hope you're all doing well. I am all ready to talk about GH. I don't think it's going to be as long as of a live stream, because I feel like there were only really a handful of stories that happened this week, and a lot of them can be summed up pretty quickly, honestly. But I am here nonetheless to talk about all of it, so buckle up if you're ready. And I want to know your guys' thoughts too, so we'll all chat about all of it. Hey Edmund. Oh, it's flash flooding in LA. You know, sometimes I watch. I know Venice Beach isn't really in LA, but close enough. I'm thinking, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But yeah, I seen that it was like pouring rain there, and it's always sunny on that live stream. So I was thrown for a loop. Oh, you just rewatched Friday's episode. Laura had me crying. Jeannie, yeah, Jeannie's so good at like playing loss and sadness, and yeah, she gets me every time too. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that today. Actually, we'll talk about Spencer and Esme and the whole situation first. We'll just dive right into it. So welcome to General Hospital MV, my GH after show. Let's just jump right into the deep end and talk about Spencer and Esme. They're dead. Let's discuss. Venice Beach is a part of Los Angeles. Okay, good to know. I have been to LA before, but it's been like 10 years now. All right. You're glad Spencer is gone. All right, let's talk about all of it. So, to sum things up quickly, after magically tracking Spencer and Trina down in the small little town of Paris, France, Esme sneaks onto the boat that's a dead ringer for the Haunted Star that Spencer got for him and Trina to have a romantic like getaway night on, like a romantic cruise or whatever. She knocks out seemingly the only other guy on the boat, grabs Trina from her room, puts her in a boiler room, waits for Spencer to come back to the room, forced him to have his hands zip tied, and showed that she won't hesitate to drug him with the needle of God knows what that she had in her purse. And, you know, that took like 2 seconds of the situation before Trina managed to escape pretty quickly, because clearly Esme is not that great at tying people up. Trina knocks her out with a freaking pipe and unties Spencer, leaves the drug-filled needle with Esme on the ground, which I thought was ridiculous. Hey, Sandy. What are y'all saying, by the way? I'm missing stuff. Lil M3783, good riddance, Esme, I will not miss her. Edmund's Collectible World says Portia is suddenly remorseful, right? Where's Taggart? God knows where. They just don't act like he exists anymore. It's sad. Alright. So anyway, Trina and Spencer go to the deck of the boat. You know, they're just waiting for the cavalry to arrive, essentially. And then Esme, despite getting conked in the head with a pipe, runs out to the deck, drugs Spencer, and then tries to attack Trina. Spencer comes to just long enough to pull her over the edge of the boat and go along with her. So yeah, that happened. Laura, Dante, and Trina's parents arrive after that. We learn that the rescue mission has turned into a recovery mission because it had been over 24 hours. But of course, it's assumed that they were carried out to sea and that they're dead. However, the audience does see that the little dove that Spencer keeps with him at all times, that was, a gift for him and Trina, is washed up on the shore. So we know that at least the dove made it. I'm going to assume that Spencer and Esme are likely alive somewhere as well. And then plus, the audience that pays attention to the behind-the-scenes stuff knows that Spencer is likely alive and that Nicholas Chavez is only gone because he's shooting that monster series. And Spencer will be back likely when it's over. News also came to light that Avery Pohl has also made her exit. But I'm no fool. I know y'all are like happy Esme is gone and they've confirmed her exit. But like, come on y'all. You all know she's coming back when Spencer comes back. They can't have them both stay if Spencer's going to be off, especially with the way that they wrote the story. Avery's just exiting for now, and I'm sure she'll be back when Nicholas Chavez is back to continue the story. If Esme's hey DG, hey Laura, hey Sandy. If I didn't say it already, if Esme's written out for good, I'm going to seriously consider ditching the show again. It's very poorly written. I don't think she's being written out for good. I just think that they couldn't have Spencer be taken out this way without taking Esme with him, because that would mean Esme would have to go to jail for what she did, and instead of that, it'll be a juicier story if they've just been off somewhere all this time, both alive. Likely Spencer is Esme's hostage. That's how I think it's going to go down. I don't think that her exit is permanent. I think this is her exit for now, and that she'll be back. Esme is a take it or leave it character maybe, but Avery Pohl is extremely talented, and I would like to see her on the show. Hey Macabre. Thank God she's gone. She's gone for now though. Esme's coming back, I promise you. Like it or not, that's the only reason why she's exiting. We'll talk about William as well, because that was kind of my next segue as we go back to Port Charles. Okay, so interestingly enough, when Laura was looking at photos of Spencer after returning to Port Charles, we see a picture of Nicholas Bechtel's version of Spencer, when he was a little kid. It kind of makes me wonder that if Nicholas ends up getting primetime fame and success from this show, and he decides to leave the show permanently, if they'll bring him back and maybe just try to age him and make him look older, because he's not, to me, I know he looks younger than Nicholas Chavez, but not by much. You know what I mean? I feel like it's not out of the realm of possibility. Oh, you don't think it's permanent exit either, DG? Yeah, I don't either. I don't buy it. Well, to be fair, Angel, she has to make it sound like it's gone because she can't, dictate this. She doesn't want to spoil the story. You know how Frank is when it comes to keeping things under wraps, so we'll see. Anyway, Trina also returned to Port Charles and told Jocelyn, who is now being played by Eden McCoy again. Eden's back. Trina tells her that Spencer is dead. I gotta say, knowing that Eden McCoy had taken a break to mourn the loss of her mother, and then having to come back and have her character mourn the loss of her longtime childhood friend seems a bit cruel. And I felt so bad because, first of all, Eden really rocked those scenes, and I feel like we know where she's pulling her ability from, which is so sad to think about. But it made for the scenes a bit more, sad to watch. And then, of course, Jeannie Francis did a fantastic job as well. I said it earlier, no one cries and does like sadness like Jeannie Francis. And we even got to see her take out her anger on Cyrus for a minute as he tried to shove his newfound religion in her face and, give her all the BS. She just couldn't deal with it. And even Sunny was there, and she gave him a stern lecture on beating up her brother and saying she didn't think that she knew him as well as she thought that she did. Which was a conversation they needed to have, honestly. Back to Trina and Joss for a second, though, because they called Cam to break the news to him that Spencer was dead. Not that we heard him, but we did learn that William Lipton is returning as Cam for the funeral. So I'm excited to see him again. Let's move on to the next stuff. But what are y'all saying? Nicholas Bechtel can't pull off leading man. That's why he got switched out. But maybe he's grown a little bit. Who knows? Hard to tell. Yes, I cried for Eden more than I cried for Joss. Yeah, I felt so bad for her. I don't want Trina to miss a semester of school. Yeah, but I can't blame her for leaving. Like, that's traumatizing. You just watched your boyfriend get killed in Paris where you're supposed to study. I don't think I could just go back easily myself. Eden's first scenes were very well done and heartfelt. Poor girl is too young to lose her mom. She has my prayers. Was not feeling Laura at all this week. I don't know. I didn't mind having Laura have that conversation with Sunny, nor did I mind her reaming what's his name, Cyrus out. Both well deserved. Trina missing school is the least of her worries. Is my character just Austin had to go to make room for Steve Burton. I don't know. Like, I don't think that Avery is worth that much in the grand scheme of clearing up the budget for Steve. She knew Cyrus deserved that beating. She known Sunny is a mobster for the longest. Why act brand new now? Well, did she know? Does she know the whole truth as to why Sunny beat him up? Because I feel like Sunny didn't really disclose all of that to her, but I could be wrong about that. Nicholas is a lot bigger now. I've seen pictures of him. He's quite the hunk. It would be funny if Nick Chavez doesn't come back and the show decides to rehire Bechtel. We shall see. I mean, listen, I think, let's assume that Nicholas Chavez finds primetime success and they have to recast Spencer regardless. Regardless who they get to play Spencer in the future, that is a large legacy to follow up. Because Nicholas Chavez is like top-notch actor. So anyone who replaces him is gonna have some trouble living up to that name, in my opinion. Alright, let's move on. Let's talk about what happened to Sunny earlier in the week, before he returned to Port Charles to get a stern lecture from Laura. Sunny and Ava were on his island in Puerto Rico, and despite all the extra security on the island, a sniper got through and took aim at Sunny and Ava. Sunny thinks it's someone who knew the way his business works inside and out. Dare we think it's Jason? I think someone mentioned that on Wednesday. That, like, wasn't it you, Kaiwan? Maybe? Yeah. After Sunny started talking about someone that knows the business inside and out, it's making me think that it could be Jason too. It was a good theory before Sunny established what he thinks, but it really seems like a possibility now. That said, if that's what these past writers were planning, it might not be the plan anymore. Because there's new writers coming in March. Although they have to kind of transition into that, and I don't know when they would have gotten let go. So we'll see. That is true, Angel. And that's probably true as well, DG. Sunny's really softening towards Ava. Yeah, he is. Ava's softening towards Sunny as well. Speaking of that, let's get into like kind of what happened after that. So when Sunny got home after he talked to Laura, and after the stuff in Puerto Rico, Ava had invited Nina over to talk to her at Sunny's penthouse while Sunny was visiting Laura, and she figured he'd be gone for a while. So when Sunny got back, Nina was still there, and it was hella awkward. She tried to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry for your loss of Spencer," and he was just like, "I can't do this right now. Can you leave?" Which was funny. And then Ava put her hand on Sunny's shoulder and just was like, "Sorry," and he said thank you. I like that there's like a bit of mutual respect for each other because they care about a lot of the same people. They share a kid, but there's always going to be a bit of a slight rift, but they've grown to, I think, care about each other. Maybe partially for Avery, but I think that Sunny somehow cares a little bit about Ava too, because she has helped him out a few times over the years and has been supportive and helpful in many ways. I hope it isn't a mind control, Jason. No wonder the writers got fired. Sandy, you hope it's not Jason. Somebody said the new writers. Well, we'll see. We shall see. I mean, if it is, I hope it's not mind control. If it is Jason, I hope that they give a reasonable explanation. Although, to be fair, if Jason was written properly, he wouldn't miss. Although, also, if Jason was being written properly, he would miss on purpose. So, I guess we'll see. We just never know. We just never know, guys. But anyway, back to Nina for just a split second. This woman is so desperate to hang on to her husband, her kid, and her grandkids, and none of them want her. This woman needs to move on. And speaking of Nina, she's still slowly plotting out vengeance on Drew and Carly, much like Drew is on Nina. She starts by gossiping to the press about how Drew thinks with his heart and not with his mind, which is no way to run a business. I don't like her, but she ain't wrong. There's something wrong with Drew, and he is thinking with his head instead of his heart. Or no, his heart instead of his head. And that's probably going to get him in trouble with his own business down the line. Well, now he's dealing with bad publicity, though there's no details as to, like, who said what and why. So we'll see what happens there. Carly is making some waves in Crimson, though, to be fair. She's managing to hang on to Crimson's relationship with deception, despite Maxie and Sasha's relationships with Nina. Tracy was even kind of impressed on how she handled the art of the deal. I just don't want to see Carly run Crimson, honestly, though. I want Maxie to have it. We've talked about it already. I want Maxie to run Crimson. Michael was ready to hand in his resignation with Aurora, but Drew didn't want him to leave, although he acts a bit fishy. He makes this claim that he wants them to team up to get vengeance on Nina. And Michael actually, for once in his life, does a decent thing and puts his wife first, which Drew finds endearing and keeps him on and says he won't make him a part of his plans for her. I don't know what to believe, honestly. I feel like we don't really know where this story is going with Drew. And I feel like had Michael agreed to get vengeance on Nina, he would be absolutely over the moon about it, and they would get away to plotting things, together. And maybe he just said, "Oh no, I respect you, and that's why I want you on." I don't know. Everything just seems a little bit weird with Drew, and I don't know how to feel about it. The writing is all over the place with him right now. I can't tell when he's being serious and when he's not, so I don't blame Michael for wanting to quit. Well, I feel like Michael just expected Drew might fire him because of his reaction to the secret that he kept. Stevie B is an icon in his own right by now, but Maurice is ahead of him in pecking order on this show. Hey, Jake. Little Amy said, I think Cyrus is going to be the one who has Spencer. Notice he knew about Spencer before it was public knowledge. Yeah, but he also has connections. So who knows? We'll see what the story is once Nicholas is making his return as Spencer. Speaking of Nicholas, because I forgot to mention this earlier, sorry y'all. Nicholas came back with Ace and surprised Laura after obviously he found out that Spencer was dead, and he was teary-eyed when he came through the door, and Jeannie of course was beautiful in her reaction to Nicholas. But we'll see what happens after that, because he can't really stay in town without having to pay for his crimes, even though the person he did the crimes to is seemingly dead. Hey, Marcia. Sandy, you said Drew's crazy. I think they're making him too much like Ryan Lavery. I can't speak to Ryan Lavery. I don't know him. Jake, he said, I'm ready for Drew to go, child. Me too, honestly. DG, you gotta stop putting spoilers in the chat, because I don't read spoilers. It's very rude. Alright. Great acting from Jeannie this week. Yeah, I agree. I saw a Days of Our Lives ad. And it looks like Avery P is going over to 2 days. Interesting. Time will tell. All right. Anyway, just a random segue here. Did y'all know that Avery and Tabiana are neighbors? They live across the street from each other. Now I know why they seem so close on set. They literally are neighbors, which is so cool. I don't think Nick is staying around. He will drop off Ace and split. I don't think Frank is moving forward with the Nicholas character long term, just reoccurring. Also, random note, my mom was watching this movie on Lifetime, and the actor Adam Huss was in a movie with the actress that played Abby, Michael's ex-girlfriend that died, which was weird to see. I didn't watch because Lifetime movies, they're a little bit too corny for me, but yeah, he played a psycho on there. All right, moving on. Let's keep it going. Lois, okay, yeah, Olivia and Lois, that's what's next to my notes here. So, Lois cornered Olivia at the Metro Court restaurant so they could discuss their friendship and where it stands. Olivia would rather have the conversation in private in her office, but apparently Nina is there because her office is getting renovated. It makes me wonder if it's being renovated for potentially also becoming her new office for a magazine, if she's starting her own with Valentine. We'll see. Anyway, we got to see Olivia and Lois rip Nina a new one for always playing a victim and not holding herself accountable to the dumpster fire that is her life now, and the dumpster fire that she turned Sonny's life into. I loved Rena Sofer because she just the attitude she gave towards Nina was just, I loved it. I hate, obviously they could be utilizing Rena much better than they are, but I just love watching her do what she does. I think she's just really talented, and she's just entertaining to watch. All right. Moving on. So, let's talk about Brooklyn and Chase for a second. We got to see Lois in Mama Bear mode, or not Mama Bear mode, just in Mom mode, trying to help Brooklyn plan her wedding. She basically wanted her to have the same kind of wedding that she and Ned had in the old neighborhood at the same church, even the same kind of party. Brooklyn was not down with that and was hoping Tracy would step in and prevent it from happening. But Tracy actually went along with it because of a conversation she had with Gregory about not getting in the way of Brooklyn and Chase's happiness and demanding things. It's the one time that she decided to put her foot in her mouth, and Brooklyn was not happy about it. However, in the end, they all came up with a compromise. Coney Island the night before the wedding, and then the Q's will host the wedding at the mansion the next day. Tracy will fly everyone back from Coney Island in time for the wedding. I wish GH could spring for a trip to Coney Island like they did in the 90s, but we'll never see it. It's going to be an off-screen night before, likely. Although it would be cool if they, had all the Q's get in a plane crash and they had to survive on it, in a wreck together. Willow should have stayed with Chase. His family is more her speed. I agree. I loved Willow and Chase, but she, I don't know, she just ruined that couple for me by cheating on Michael with him, or cheating on him with Michael while he was dying. Oh, you think she's still in love with Ned? Well, to be fair, they discuss that every single Sorello has gotten married the same way, in the same church, in the same neighborhood. So it's a generational thing. Because I should have said it when I was kind of recapping it, but not only did Lois say hers and Ned's wedding, but also every person that's come before her and every cousin of theirs that's ever been. She added all of that in there. But to be fair, Ned and Lois seem to have a good friendship and repertoire with each other, so she doesn't have ill will towards him. And I think she's allowed to say that wedding was wicked, because it was. Just because they didn't work out as a couple doesn't mean she can't appreciate the good times, so. I don't know. I don't think she has feelings for Ned. I feel like if Eddie Main had stuck around long enough, she might have, maybe had feelings for him. Who would pick Michael or Chase? It's true. Oh, Michael over Chase. That's what you meant. Yeah, I agree. I was not here. I have never been here for Michael and Willow, and I never will be. I know. We'll never see Coney Island. They'll probably get that generic, wherever they're getting their location shot from, that website that has all of them. They'll probably just get a Coney Island one from there, if at all, or it'll just happen off screen altogether. Maybe they'll hire just a merry-go-round. They've hired a merry-go-round before. They could do it again. of seeing Jane Elliott on screen when she walks into a scene with that crossbody purse. She's coming in to handle business. They can't seem to even have a dang green screen on the show. There was a period of time where they were using green screen a lot, though. I mean, they did kind of use it for Trina and Spencer when they were in New York City. Just for that one little scene. But there was like a moment in time, like in the mid to late 2000s, where there was like constant scenes on the hospital rooftop that were green screen. They'd show the cars below. There was Jason on the speedboat heading over to Spoon Island, which was corny, but they utilized it. And then there was the showdown with the text message killer on the bridge that was over the water, and the stunts that Kelly Monaco had to do to hang from the bridge. Those were good times. And they were decent. Like, obviously it looked a little bit fake, but considering soap budgets and technology at the time just with CGI, it was a pretty decent effort. They probably do better than Y&R green screen. Dare I ask. Alright. Moving on. Let's quickly discuss the court case with Finn. It's been dropped. Long story short, while the court session was on recess, Tracy had a little chat with the widowed wife of Mr. Muldoon and told her how her husband actually seen an oncologist before he seen Finn, and that he had planned to sue Finn in an attempt to leave the family financially stable as his last gift to them before he passed away. Since the Muldoons were essentially in financial ruins, apparently. The wife had no inkling of this plan, and Finn didn't want to see her go to jail, so he was damn near willing to lose his job just so Miss Muldoon wouldn't have to go to jail for fraud and leave her children parentless. So Tracy figured if she told her what was really going on and made her a money offer she couldn't refuse, everyone would get what they want without anybody's lives getting ruined. And so that's what happened. Story done, story dropped, story wrapped up. We can move on. Let's also talk about Adam as quickly as his story came to an end. Long story short, Adam stood up to his father after Jocelyn made sure he got his guitar back, and when his dad got in his face about playing with that silly guitar, I guess he finally grew a pair. He told his dad in no uncertain terms that he will not be going home with him, and he will get himself a job to get himself through college if he's not willing to still fund his education, and that it's not for him to dictate what his grown son's future is. I like that's kind of how they handled it. It's on you. He had this kind of conversation with his dad once he sort of stood his ground and was like, it's on you if you ever want to talk to me again. You have my number. It's yours to call. Also kind of insinuating, I won't be the one to call you. I don't want to. But when you're ready to reach out to me and accept me for who I am and what I want to do, you have my number. That is how a young adult with abusive parents should handle that situation. Just be like, this is who I am, this is my life, this is how I'm going to live it. If you don't like it, there's the door. If you want me in your life, you have my number. Goodbye. That is how you handle it. And that, if you're lucky enough, obviously, there's obviously extenuating circumstances for anyone with those kind of parents. In Adam's case, he's already in college and living on his own. They're just very stressed out, strict parents in terms of his education. But they don't get a say. And actually, just to get into some personal stuff, my cousin went through the exact same thing that Adam did. Same kind of situation with her education. She wanted to do certain things, and her dad was very much not an asshole like Adam's dad, but just very wanted her to take a certain direction, and she did what she had to do to get out of there and do her own thing, and she struggled for years on it, But she, you know, at the end of the day, cut to many years after that. You know, we're both in our 30s now, and she's thriving in the career that she wanted to build for herself. So there you have it. Very much like real life, and I appreciated it. That's the scene I was talking about, DG. It should have been dropped a long time ago. She didn't have a case. Your husband was lazy with his health. That's what it came down to. Tracy really cares about Finn and his dad. Yeah, it's really nice to see when Tracy cares about people that aren't her family. I think I mentioned that last weekend. I just love seeing Tracy's soft side and how ride or die she is for the people that she cares about. Because she could technically get in a lot of trouble for bribing Miss Muldoon for what she, you know, to drop the case. But I think that she did it in a way that kind of saves her. Because she made a donation, just a very generous one. But she had told her the truth first. So props for them handling it that way. But yeah, anyway. It seems overall GH is wrapping up a lot of stories at warp speed right now. Joshua Bernard has ended his run on the show too. They've confirmed that, so we got Josh out, we got Avery out, and we got these minor stories from these past writers wrapping up quickly, which I'm good with. I'm good with it. I want to see these new writers get a clean slate. It doesn't even matter how I feel about the stories that we were kind of dealing with under the last regime. A lot of the stories, even if some of them seem slightly interesting, have been going on for too long. Some of the stories weren't really going on for long at all, but I want the new writers to kind of have a clean slate and to kind of start with something new, so that we can kind of not feel like it's not much of a difference. I want to see a difference right away. Oh, you feel like they're going to make Jocelyn a psychiatrist? We'll see. Adam's story had so much potential, but bam, it's done. Such a waste. Well, new writers, new stories. Finn is an idiot. I agreed with Tracy. What about your child? Forget hers. Yeah, that's true. I mean, Finn wasn't going to go to jail for what if he had been found guilty of, being negligent. I don't think he would have done time, would he? He would just have to pay up a lot of money and lose his job permanently. And Finn was like, well, I'll go into research. But Tracy's argument really was that GH would lose an incredible doctor. We only have the word on that because we barely see Finn deal with patients. So, but I'm assuming it's true that he's a great doctor. Hey, Nathan. Oh, come on. What happened to Karen? She died on Port Charles, the spin-off show. And I feel like it had to do with a car crash. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And it's funny that you mentioned Karen. We might as well get into the last situation here. Oh, hold on. DG said the malpractice was such a waste of airtime. I would have used a malpractice suit to help write Finn out after his career was taken away. I'm tired of Finn and Liz. Well, the thing is, they could have written it to be interesting if they had it happen on screen, thoroughly, that we got to know the patient and then we find out all this other stuff first. But just the way that they, what's the word I'm looking for? The way that they just put the story out was just stupid. because they had a throwaway scene months ago of Finn losing his patient, and then months later they finally were like, well, this patient's family is filing a lawsuit. And it was that the scene that they talked about him dying was such a blink and you miss it thing. It says Finn is a great doctor too. Every 5 minutes. True. We just never see them doing doctory things on screen, which is why I can't. I hate that. I hate that. It's a show called General Hospital. Show some doctors doctoring. All right, but yeah, let's move on. Let's talk about Anna and Jordan and who they ran into. But we'll kind of bring things back to the start of the week. So they go to Anna and Jordan. They go to Pentonville to meet up with Brennan to get some answers. He wanted to use his knowledge as a bargaining chip, but Anna simply played the Sunny card to get him to spill a tiny bit of info, namely the name of the man who sold stolen WSB guns to other people, who would have been the same person that hired, potentially, the person that shot at Sunny and shot Curtis instead. So Jordan meets this guy in a stingy hotel while Anna hides. When things start to go sour, Anna reveals herself and demands answers, and not long after that, this FBI agent storms in. Now, prior to him storming in, we seen him at Bobby's diner, and he ran into Carly as she was walking out the door, and he mentioned to her that he used to work there when it was still called Kelly's. Olivia had shown up with Leo to grab some lunch, and Olivia and Carly took some time to kind of confront each other on the Nina stuff outside while Leo waited inside. Leo was a little bit agitated, and the FBI agent noticed this and sits and talks with him. They have like quite a repertoire with each other. He clearly knows how to talk to this kid. Olivia comes back in and asks the agent who he is. He introduces himself as John, and he asks Olivia if Leo is on the spectrum, and she says yes. And he mentions that he has a grown son who also has autism, who is now living independently on his own in the world. And then he soon gets a call, and that's how he ends up at the dingy hotel room where Anna and Jordan and this man are. And when Anna talks to him, he's like, "Don't you recognize me, Anna?" And she looks at him and says, "Jagger?" And I looked at the screen like, huh? Oh my god. Now this man, if y'all watched GH back when Jagger was last on it, which was in the 90s, but also if you watch Night Shift Season 2 when he was on there in like 2008 or 9 or something, 2008 I think, then you know damn well this dude don't look anything like the last Jagger that played him. the last actor that played him. Jagger was this, if you guys don't know, Jagger was this dark Italian stallion. He was played by Antonio Sabato Jr. And this dude, whose name is Adam Harrington, that's playing him now, is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed individual who honestly probably could have played Jax. In fact, when he ran into Carly, I thought, oh my god, did they actually recast Jax because she had a weird reaction to him. But I don't think that they will ever recast Jax. That would just cause too much yikes in the social media world. But you gotta also think too with this actor that's playing Jagger, if you know who Stone is, then you would be like, how is this dude Stone's brother? Yeah, Jagger Cates is Stone Cates' brother. Stone was the man that Robin dated that died of AIDS in the 90s. That iconic story. I've never been so thrown by a recast before. Like, there's been recasts where they're temporary and they don't look anything like the previous actor, but I can forgive that. Like, I can truly forgive that. Even the stuff, I think the last recast that kind of threw people off a little bit. Well, besides all the Mollys, but that's a different situation. We didn't know what was happening there for a little while. But Ethan, when Ethan returned for Holly to rescue him from Victor, But that again was just kind of like a temporary thing. We knew it wouldn't be permanent, so I can kind of brush past that. But I'm assuming if they're bringing Jagger on, there is no need for it to be so vastly different and seemingly out of the left field in terms of casting. But you guys know me. You guys know that I'm willing to give any recast a chance. I don't think I've been this thrown by a recast before, because it's so jarring. It's like, what? Oh man. Good lord. Good lord. Alright, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat, because I had to get that off of my chest first. Alright, this Jagger recast. The completely unnecessary recast of Jagger. He is not needed on the canvas at this time. Yeah, it seems so weird to bring him back. Like, what else could they bring him back for? For real, I miss the on-screen surgery. So do I. Whenever someone gets sick or has an accident, we get an extra as their doctor. Yeah, it's sad. And I hate that about GH. To the former One Life to Live viewers, this recast of Jagger is almost as bad as Cassie DePriva recast as Blair, who was originated by an Asian actor. Yeah, but to be fair, Cassie DePriva is Blair to everyone, right? I feel like she made the role iconic in terms of One Life to Live. I don't know much about that show, but she was a seemingly very popular character under this actress. I don't know how much time the previous actress that played her was on. Another thing to point out, yeah, he really does, DG. He really does look like he could be a Jax recast. Let's see. What was I going to say? I've lost my train of thought now. Trina was also an Asian character that became a black character not long after that, but there was we seen very little Trina when she was played by that Asian actress. That was so dumb of the writers when it comes to that scene, but I think Antonio Sabato Jr. wasn't asked back because he slammed Frank Valentini on Ingo's IG. Ay. Well, I mean, if you're to be fair, if you're trashing these people that have the power to hire you, then of course they're not going to hire you back. Like, it just is what it is. But what I'm thinking, regardless, is why bring Jagger back at all? This dude doesn't have any connections on the show currently. Unless they're planning to put him with Olivia, I'm sorry. Put him with Olivia. If Ned and Olivia don't work out for whatever reason, now Olivia can date Jagger. And they can have bonding over Leo as a thing in common. But why? Why? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. This could be any FBI agent from Anna's past. And really, Anna and Jagger would have only crossed paths on night shift because she wasn't around during those days when Jagger was on in the 90s. And he was only on for 2 years. It's not like he's this iconic character, okay? Like, don't get it twisted. It's just that he's connected to a character that is pretty iconic in Stone. I don't know. It's a weird thing. But I just feel like there seems to be no point in bringing him back. Because Robin's not on. He barely had a relationship with Anna. If anything, he had more of a relationship with Robert. Because Jagger was living in Robin and Patrick's house for a little bit while he was in town. And Robert was there living with Robin and Patrick as well. And Anna didn't even know Robert was in town, let alone battling cancer. until quite late in the story, which means she probably didn't cross paths with Jagger either. And I don't know. I've watched Night Shift Season 2 in its entirety. I can't recall a time of them sharing scenes in Night Shift Season 2. I would imagine that she knew about him and knew that she was there because of Robin, or that he was there because of Robin. But we just didn't see them share any screen time. So, I don't know. I don't know what the point is in bringing Jagger back at all. GH is obviously on a tight budget now, that's true. The entire debacle is totally unnecessary. The story doesn't even need Jagger now. That's how I feel. Jagger back in the day was dimples and all. Yeah, Antonio Sabato Jr. is hot. Spencer and Trina has better chemistry. She kind of let Joss have Cameron. But, I mean, so here's the thing. We didn't really see Tabiana's Trina too much with Cam. Really, Trina and Cam happened under Sydney's. There are several other characters that have potential if written back in. Leslie Liu, for one thing. Her daughter's a stalker now, and Dante's getting with Sam. Yeah, I'd like Lulu to come back, but just not under Emmy Rylan. The new Jagger is hard on the eyes compared to Antonio. To me, it's just jarring because he just doesn't look anything like the other one. It's not like he's an unattractive actor, but he's just not what we're used to. Maybe they'll bring back Brenda and Karen. I don't see them bringing back Karen. Spencer and OG Trina had better chemistry. Spencer and OG Trina would have had the best chemistry. New Spencer and new Trina both suck. Well, we only seen like Nicholas Chavez's Spencer with Trina. There's no new Spencer. I mean, I know there was an old Spencer, but like he never shared scenes with Trina. Antonio should have never said that. Frank deserved to be fired in the comments. Yeah. Like that's the thing. If you're already trash talking the boss, then why would he hire you? Cassie DePriver did make the role her own, but it was still very jarring for the audience. Okay, see, I didn't know the history of that, DG. Then Antonio makes a video how he is hurt that they've recasted him. I think he deleted that video, though. Anna and Jagger did not cross paths on GH. Yeah, they didn't cross paths on GH. They could have potentially crossed paths on Night Shift. But probably just in the realm of the story, off screen, after the fact. They were in the same building at the same time because Anna was there at GH when the bomb went off. And Robert was egging her to go deal with the bomb situation because of her past working with defusing bombs, but Jagger was there doing it. So she to an extent is aware of him, and maybe they cross paths off screen during that time. It is possible. Wouldn't Carly recognize Jagger? I don't know. Because I'm trying to think of when Carly came on in reference to when Jagger left. And I feel like I don't know if they've crossed paths or if she knew him at all well enough to even recognize him. I think the producers are the ones who are in charge of hiring and firing actors and writers. I do not remember Asian Trina at all. Yeah, she was only there very briefly. Trina, or OG Trina, previously before Sydney, was on when Jocelyn threw a house party, when there was also a different Oscar. And then she was also the one who dated the transgender kid in their high school. Because, or just had the transgender kid as her date, and had this alternative prom at the Floating Rib when the earthquake hit. So that's the last time we would have seen that Trina. There's no good reason for writing Jagger back into the show. I agree. The network itself can fire an actor. The EP has to abide by what the network allows. Baby Jagger will tell Nina about... Oh, maybe Jagger will tell Nina about Karen? Wait, why? Oh. What he did to Karen when she was a teenager. Well, I don't think Nina will care, truthfully. Trina and Sydney's chemistry wasn't great at all. I was kind of rooting for them, though. I just didn't want him to fall for Joss. I think Cam's going to come back and it's going to say, I'm a what? We just need a Lulu. We do need a Lulu. The new Jagger needs a haircut and a few other things. Just awful. He still has the nerve to make it post. I saw the video. I didn't see the video. I did hear about it. Why wouldn't Carly see a picture of Jagger at Sonny's place? Stone's brother. Jagger was with Brenda. Why would Sonny have pictures of Jagger though? Like, he wouldn't have pictures of Jagger. And if he did, he probably burned them. But, like, he wouldn't. He just wouldn't. He'd have pictures of Stone. But Sonny really had nothing to do with Jagger. Spencer has to come back to Trina. She's heartbroken. Oh, he will. I'm dreading how they're going to bring him back. We were talking about, I think on Wednesday, we were like, well, what if he just suddenly gets amnesia and Esme's tricked him into thinking that that's his girlfriend and or that she's his girlfriend, all this stuff. I would be so annoyed. I wonder if that's where the original writers were going to go with, and then they were like, no, we can't do this anymore. We're firing y'all. You can't come up with a original plot. Yeah, we already talked about Cam coming back this week for Spencer's funeral. Sonny would have pictures of Stone. Yeah, not Jagger. Exactly. Trina really didn't want Cam. She didn't fight or make a play for him. She just let Joss have him. Yeah. But I feel like, I don't know. It just felt like they ended it abruptly because they didn't want Trina to have a love interest before Jocelyn. But I feel like at the time, Sydney was really making waves as Trina and really being seen and noticed by the audience. And they just didn't want to give Cam to her. And so they brought back Spencer. Yeah, Cam was only doing a few episodes. Yeah, he's just coming back for Spencer's funeral. He deserves a contract. Maybe he just doesn't want to be in it right now because he quit willingly, right? But I don't know. I wouldn't mind Cam coming back at all. I just, I don't know. I just don't think it's... I don't know. It's hard to say why, if he's available, they wouldn't be hiring him. I feel like they could have explored so much with the character of Cam if they had made him a hot mess after, what really dark thing happened that I was like, he could go rogue. Like, they could have made him as messy as Xander when something had happened and he didn't get messy. Oh yeah, when Jocelyn cheated on him. When Jocelyn cheated on him with Dex, I wanted Cam to go full rogue and full rebel and full just disaster child. Instead, they made him boring. Aw. So hurt for Trina. Or wouldn't Jason or Sunny mention Jagger to Carly? Same circles. Well, they could mention him. It doesn't mean that she knows what he'd look like. Yeah, Cam left for his band or school. He does seem to be doing his thing with his band still, which is cool. I actually like the band that he's in. Yeah, Trina wasn't sick, Joyce. She just was jet lagged because she was tired because of the time difference in Paris and Port Charles. Yeah, you wanted him to go rogue too? Yeah, I wanted to see Messy Cam. I so wanted to see Messy Cam, dude. It would have been fun to watch. And I think he could have pulled it off. Or it would have at least made the character more interesting. Alright, y'all. That about wraps up tonight's live stream. I don't really have a whole lot more to say. So I think I'll end it here. You know what I think we're going to do on Wednesday? I think we're going to watch some Jagger. Some OG Jagger. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to find some Jagger clips. So y'all, if y'all haven't seen Antonio Sabato Jr. as Jagger, you will on Wednesday. I'll find some good stuff. Likely, maybe... if I can find a scene from Night Shift just to show you where we last had seen him. Because if I didn't mention it earlier, he has a son named Stone and he's autistic. I think I did mention it, but his son's name is Stone and we did see him on screen. Unfortunately, the actor that played him actually died in real life, tragically. But, you know, he's an adult now and they've established that he's somewhere out in the world living his life and they could recast him because he was just a child actor when he played Stone. Alright, y'all. But yeah, so stay tuned for that on Wednesday. And thanks so much for watching this live stream. If you liked it, give it a big ol' thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. And I will catch y'all on Wednesday. Good night. Mwah. Enjoy the rest of your week.